Hi, welcome to Changing Mindsets with Louise Namara. What I want to talk about today is something that is very visible. Some people are concerned about it, others don't want to know. But either way, it's affecting us not only as a country, but as Africa. Chinese influence. We all know that China is the number 2 superpower country in the whole entire world. They are highly developed, and they're trying to extend this development to the African countries by setup of infrastructure. But this they are doing on loan, based on their own terms, which are non-negotiable. And in turn, the African countries are giving their national assets as a security. Now, my question would be, why would a lender give money to a borrower who has given in a security, but very well knows he won't be able to pay back? Why would the Chinese give the African loans? Yes, the Africans are giving them a security, but the Chinese very well know that the Africans may default in paying back these loans because of the poor financial systems which have been affected by corruption. Food for thought. Another question. These people who lend out money, for example, the Chinese, where did they get their money from? How did they make their money? According to their history, about 40 years ago, they were in a dire situation. And then they decided to unite for the sake of development of their country. Then they realized their strength. We all know they're very good at technology. And then they went ahead to improve on the educational system, making it very, very, very relevant and very strategic. They visited other countries, learned from them, they were open-minded, they did a lot of research. When they came back this side, they improved on the educational system. Then they decided to work hard and make products. For example, we see the Techno phones, the Huawei phones, and many other products. Then they went ahead and they traded, first amongst themselves to build themselves, then with other countries, where they earned foreign exchange, which also helped in developing them economically. Now, why don't you pick a leaf from a country like this? Number one, we need to realize that there are situations that we go through in our countries and in Africa at large. For example, the poverty, the diseases, the poor housing systems, and many others. Then we need to unite for the cause of development. Can you imagine that annually the African Union loses about 148 billion to corruption? That money would have gone into paying the debt to the Chinese and maybe the World Bank and IMF. Then we need to realize our strength. For example, one thing that Africa is blessed with is we have raw materials. There is platinum in South Africa, there is gold in Congo, there is oil in Nigeria, and even here in Uganda. We have the oil, we have the cotton, we have the coffee, and many more. We can use all of this to make different kinds of products. Then our educational system. If we put our kids into school for 20 years, that is from kindergarten to the university, and they come out of the educational system, are they able to solve the challenges that we face as a country? For example, the waste and the diseases and the corruption. If they are not, then there's a problem. Our educational system needs to be beefed up, needs to be made stronger. We need to open up our minds and learn from other countries and do research and strengthen our educational system. Then we need to work hard. There are some countries, it is a rule that they cannot employ foreigners when there's an option of a citizen. You may give an example and say, well, Ugandans are lazy, Ugandans are lazy. But not all Ugandans are lazy. There are many who are very hard workers. I'll give you an example. Have you been to downtown at 5 a.m. in the morning? You find the streets are full of traders. So what do you mean by they're lazy? And for those who are lazy, if I may ask, why are they lazy? Who groomed them to be lazy? The saying goes, charity begins at home. Parents, are you grooming your kids to be lazy or to be hardworking? The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. So if you train your child to be lazy, when he grows, he'll be lazy. If we train our children to be lazy, when they grow, the country will be lazy. So we need to teach the mentality of hard work and make sure it is infiltrated in the minds of the people, starting from the grassroots, that is from the children. Then we need to trade as a country. It is actually said that the Africans export raw materials, and these countries outside Africa make products out of these raw materials. Then they're imported back into the country and sold at a higher price. That's a loss. We need to make products with our raw materials. From the research that we have done, the open-mindedness, the hard work, we can make products. Then we can export them and sell them at a higher price, which will make a profit for us as a country and as a continent. Why should we continuously be borrowing and borrowing and borrowing? We need to work hard. One thing you should know is that the Chinese man is not sleeping. And many of the African countries have gotten loans from the Chinese. When the time to pay back comes, there will be no negotiations at all. Why don't we work hard and fight for the economic independence of our country and of Africa? Thank you.